Game feel is the relationship between you, the controller, and the screen. That juicy parry in Dark Souls, that weighty button press on Monster Hunter, or even pushing a boulder on Uncharted is peak game feel. Usually you don't make something bad on purpose, but we have cases like the Resident Evil tank controls. Here, you need to press forward to move your character and left and right to slowly rotate your character. Clunky? Absolutely. But it sure makes you desperate when a zombie is coming. But it sure makes you desperate when a zombie is slowly approaching you and somehow you're even slower than him. The fact is, the game was enhanced by bad controls. That's why in Resident Evil 4 for the Wii, the whole game is easier because of motion controls. With motion controls you can achieve mouse-like precision, but this game in particular was designed with bad aiming in mind. But giving it a pointer basically meant free headshots for all, hooray! In fact, at the time, Nintendo was trying to push the fact that using motion controls would enhance the game feel, that you were actually swinging the sword and jumping behind the couch to avoid bullets. But that was a lie. What actually happened was that developers were forcing motion controls into their games. Like, seriously? Shaking the controller to jump? That's a bit excessive. And in the end, they pretty much killed the game feel of the games. But some games indeed have fun motion controls interactions, that it actually made the game more immersive and enhanced the game feel, such as reloading and aiming on COD games, or controlling Pikmins or sports.
Nice car!
But couldn't all of this be replaced by a button? Isn't that just a gimmick? Well, motion controls are not good for everything. Many actions could be replaced by a button, and they have been in future re-releases. And yes, sometimes it is just a gimmick, because it took a while. But developers just now are starting to realize that motion controls are actually good for one very important thing: aiming. Fortunately, when implemented correctly, motion controls are incredibly fun. So with that in mind, I would like to share some of my experience with motion controls that made games more fun. I thought shooters were boring. You see, I'm a platformer and an RPG guy, so dual analog aim was hard for me for most part of my life, and playing with the keyboard and mouse was also overwhelming for me. I remember the day that my brother came into my room and he said that to move my character I needed to use WASD instead of the arrow keys, and I was like, oh, so that's why the character isn't moving. And after that, I got stuck in the tutorial of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 because I couldn't throw the grenade and hide at the same time. And after that experience, I pretty much avoided all shooters throughout my life until 2015. You see, I was one of the 2 people that actually bought a Wii U, and in 2015 I saw that I would be able to test a demo of an online multiplayer game. I didn't have anything better to do or to play, so I downloaded the first Splatoon global test file. The test file was only available to play for 3 specific times, so I had to stay awake until 2 AM to be able to play the game. And once you start playing, the game puts you in the tutorial, and there it was. Motion controls for me. My first reaction, of course, it was, how do I turn this off? But I couldn't. I had to finish the tutorial with motion controls on. The analog didn't seem to move up or down, just left and right. So I had to rely on motion controls. I struggled to pass the final jump of the tutorial. I was super frustrated, but eventually I got it right. The tutorial was over, and I was free to play the game. And the best part is, I didn't feel the need to turn off motion controls. It was in that moment that I ascended, that I had the most fun that I ever had in my life, that I lived a moment of internal revolution, that I could finally do this. Yeah, it's just strafing. And the moment that I thought to myself, shooters are actually pretty cool. You see, Nintendo did a trick here, because Splatoon tutorials are designed that way. You are meant to have this realization. Getting a super fast weapon like the arrow spray pinned to the ground, going behind an enemy and splatting them with a quick flick and tracking the player with such precision was so much fun, and still is today. You see, The Last of Us Part 2 isn't a very scary game. It has scary moments, but it isn't a particularly scary game. But what this game is tense. So tense, in fact, that if I played for a long period of time, my body would hurt. That's how immersed I was in the game. My muscles were tense throughout the entirety of my playthrough. And motion controls made everything even better. Every tense encounter, I had to remind myself to keep it calm. I couldn't shake my leg. I couldn't shake my hands in desperation. I had to take a deep breath and make my shots. And let me tell you, this part of the game was awesome because of that. I never felt so immersed in a game before, and I'm still waiting to be this immersed again.
I like Fortnite, did I mention Fortnite?
You know, I was never really a competitive gaming guy, but recently fighting games and shooters started to grab my attention. Like Fortnite. I played Fortnite and other shooters before, but at the end of the day, I was always avoiding them. It was frustrating to walk around, not find anyone, and die for a sniper that I didn't even see. I was also intimidated by the combat because everyone else seemed so much better than me. I felt like I just couldn't aim properly. So my friends were having fun, and I was left with frustration. A couple of years later, Fortnite added gyro and flickstick support. Flickstick allows you to snap the camera to any angle. You won't be able to look up or down, so you need to rely on motion controls as well. And suddenly, Fortnite was fun. I get it. I reached out to friends and family, and I convinced a new group of friends to play Fortnite with me. And it was a great time. I could finally appreciate Fortnite after all of those years of hype that I just missed. All of that because I wasn't struggling with the controls. I got a couple victory royales, I actually got kills, I didn't have to rely on aim assist, and I didn't stay behind any of my friends that were playing on keyboard and mouse. If you want to try to play a game like this, I have an in-depth guide so you can play pretty much every Steam game like this. It's pretty cool. And if you have a PlayStation or a Switch, well, there are also many games that have official native support, so you don't have to set it up anything. You just activate it on the settings and you're good to go. And if you are a developer, please add gyro support to your game. You have plenty of resources like the Gyro Wiki and good examples like Fortnite, Splatoon, God of War Ragnarok, COD Modern Warfare 2, and much more. This isn't just a Nintendo Switch thing. Every platform supports gyro except Xbox. So give it a shot. Maybe the most fun you ever had in gaming is just waiting for you. And if you want to see more motion control games and tips, just give it a like, share, and subscribe to Flickstick videos. Thanks for watching.